It's now time for Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, live on the Woodward Sports Network. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m. Starring Ryan Ermanni, Michigan great and former NFL baller Braylen Edwards, and of course, Tom Mazawey. Let's talk some sports.
Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. Ryan Ermanni won't be in today, but my man Tom Mazawey is here. So is JB, so is Parker. But I open up with saying, Tom Mazawey, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good, bro. I'm just switching my headphones out so I can try to hear you.
Can you hear me out?
It's the headphone jack.
You might have to turn your ears up. You got to turn your ears up.
I got you.
How you feeling over there, man? How was your weekend?
It was great. Really, really fun weekend. Relaxing. Good to be with the family. Got some swimming in.
You got in the swim? You got in the pool?
I got in the pool.
The Maz pool?
The Maz pool is clean as can be, looking good.
It's officially open for business.
Oh, it's been open, but it's only my third time in the. All I do is take care of the damn thing.
But that's like a dad thing.
Okay,
so you buy the
is.
pool, you take care of the pool, you buy the pool, but you don't get in the pool. Everybody else gets to enjoy the pool.
That's as long as everyone enjoys it, I'm good.
That's good.
I'm good. How about you?
Nothing too much, man. I've been busy a lot lately, man. In terms of going out of town, Philly. I told you I almost had a heat stroke 2 weekends ago. So between that, working, and a little golf here and there, I took the week off, man. Took the weekend off. I didn't do anything.
Good for you. You got to recover.
I did not do anything of note.
But you did catch up on some of your shows, right?
I did catch up on Suits. Okay. I'm still not done with Suits.
How many seasons does Suits have?
It's 9.
And what are you up to?
I'm 7.5.
Okay, you'll be done by the end of the week.
I'm closing in.
You'll be done by the end of the week. That's my prediction.
I am closing in. JB, how's your weekend go, buddy?
Oh, pretty good, man. I mean, I worked a little bit, but also I took some time for myself. Got to enjoy myself. Went to a 90s bar crawl. I love the 90s out here in Royal Oak. It's pretty fun with a couple people of mine, so had a good time.
I didn't get the invite. Like, man, did you get the invite?
No, I didn't get the invite.
Parker,
either.
Did you get the invite?
No.
I swear we're all in a group chat. Like,
we are. I didn't think you guys would be interested in the 90s.
Hold on, let me just check out.
I love the 90s.
Let me just check out my phone. I'm trying to scroll.
Yeah, no, you didn't get anything.
Fake friend.
Did I get JB? No, you know I changed his name to Jeremy on my phone. Jeremy. I don't see it. I didn't get the invite. Come on, I love the 90s. I'm damn near born in the 90s.
It was a good time. We got dressed up. Of course, me and a bunch of friends, we were the Power Rangers.
Okay.
So,
rest in peace to Tommy, who died earlier this year.
I'm glad you didn't call me.
Oh, you don't like the Power Rangers, man?
No, I didn't really watch them.
Oh,
I didn't
this
really
guy
watch
right here. Hey, man, shout out to Tommy, man. Rest in peace to Tommy / White. Green Ranger passed earlier this year. Parker, what'd your weekend look like, man?
Saturday I worked. It was raining right on the lake where I work, so that was fun. Saw some lightning right pretty close to me. But besides that, Sunday I saw Sound of Freedom. Great movie.
Oh, talk about it. Tell me about it a little bit.
It was
quick synopsis.
So basically,
no spoiler alerts.
It's based on a true story about this guy named Tim Ballard that went across several countries to stop this child sex trafficking trade, and really intense movie. I probably cried about 8 times during that movie. It's one of the heaviest movies I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, I did not want to go see that. I could not, as a father, could not go see that. My daughter Lily went with her friend, and it shook her up right down to her core. How could it not? I mean, those are the people that need. That's the death penalty is made for people. Those people.
I feel like American cinema always had those movies that dealt with the seriousness. I feel like suspense or seriousness are based on true stories. I feel like somewhere along the way we became this fantasy and sci-fi country that loves those movies, put those out more and more and more. Yeah. And now that people are actually going to the movie theater again, I think they're starting to put some serious stuff out there, because there's a lot of BS out there, and you see a lot of BS in the world.
Hey, I went to the Tiger game on Saturday night.
How did they play?
They got slaughtered.
I know.
But it was an hour and 20-minute rain delay. I had to stand. They had to clear the stands. The players kept playing, but once lightning is in the area, they ask you, please leave your seats and go to the concourse. So 30,000 people got to all be on top of each other in the concourse. I just stood on the steps between my seat and the concourse. And then you see the rain pouring down. That's when the players got off. You see them put the tarp out. You were there, T. That's right. Yeah. It was a Negro Leagues weekend. I got my Detroit Stars jersey, though. A nice medium to fit me.
Oh man,
that's what they gave me.
Sucker.
That was yeah. I had to squeeze into that, but hour and a half, wait for them, and then they lose 14-3.
Well, you ruined the surprise. Terry Foster is with us. I had actually a question for you that I heard this weekend, and you walked in, and it fits perfectly for you. I'll tell you my answer second. I asked all you guys this: if you had a choice between going to hell or heaven for an hour, which one would you choose, and why?
Well, this must be a trick question.
No, it's not. It's not. It wasn't supposed to be that way. I just answered it
How
as
could
it was
it be a
posed.
choice?
Right.
You said no because
You only go for 1 hour.
You're only going for an hour. And you're coming back.
Oh, here.
Yeah, you're coming back to Earth, or you're coming back to your home here. You get 1 hour, heaven or hell, and then you're coming back.
I'm going to heaven, man.
You're going to heaven for an hour.
Because that's where I belong.
Maz,
I'm going to heaven. I want to see my peeps. I want to see my dog. I want to see my peeps. I want to hang out with my friends and my cousins and my uncles and aunts and grandparents that I lost.
JB.
Hell yeah.
But dude, there's got to be some
JB.
trick to this. Why?
You
It
said
doesn't make
what?
sense.
What do you mean? Why it doesn't it doesn't make sense? It's just a question, JB.
I gotta go heaven. I want to see, as Matt said, all my family members that have passed away and go on and see if they can, bestow any wisdom on me when I come back.
And Parker, gotta go to you last.
It's heaven. I don't want to feel what hell has waiting for me.
We're already in hell. We're Lion fans.
That's true. I mean, there's a fair assumption, but
Thank you, Sheila.
Yeah, I don't want to go to hell and then see a little sign that says, Terry Foster, here's your permanent seat when you come back.
Have your little placard there.
Right.
Like your media seat.
Right.
Braylen, how about you, man?
Barring the situation wasn't the type of situation where you get tricked where it's an hour, but an hour in each one of these places is like a lifetime. Granted, it's not one of those situations. I would want to go to hell for an hour. I would go to hell for an hour because I would want to have that burnt into my membrane of what not to go back to, of what not to want to fall into. I don't think I've done anything to put me to where I'm going to that situation, but I would just want to go down there and be like, all right, you know what? You get that permanent image of what's that down there like for an hour, I guarantee you I'll never return.
You know it's going to be bad. But on the flip side, you can see how great heaven can be and yeah, this is what I want. Let's roll with this.
But I feel like it's kind of like the being complacent. I feel like going to heavens for an hour. Like, oh, cool. This is what I'm coming into. This is what it's gonna be. And you come down here and you start acting the fool. You're like, man, I don't care about this anymore because I know where I'm going. And you mess it up. It's like Russell Westbrook thought he was going to the Hall of Fame, and he messed it up. That was a joke. But I'm just saying, I would want that push to be like, you know what, the hell with this, literally.
Do we need that? Don't we already know that hell is hell?
True, but an injury is an injury until you get one, and then it changes your focus. How many athletes have been refocused due to injury? Like you're like, I know if I get hurt, but I'm a lollygag around. I'm not gonna work as hard. I'm gonna get out of shape and get injured. And once you snap a knee or once you tear an Achilles, you're like, okay, that was no fun. I'm gonna put myself in a position to never be injured again. Similar.
No, it's not.
Similar.
No, bro, no.
Similar.
Hell no. Because even as an athlete, you can work your ass off and still get injured.
This is true, but a lot of guys don't work out. They don't work their ass off, and then they get injured. Because of that, we give them the excuse because injuries happen to anyone. But a lot of people that get injured are people that don't work their ass off. Take me, I know. So
the injury is the worst thing you can sustain as an athlete. But once you're injured, guess what you do? You come back. You don't say, okay, I'm done, unless you're like 35 or 36 and you tear an Achilles. And
if you're 5 years old and I tell you the stove is hot and you're listening, you got to put your hand on the stove and you burn your hand. That memory is burned into your image. How many kids had to learn that way not to touch the hot pot,
How many
not to touch the stove? Exactly. And when you do it, you know not to do it again because what happened when you were 3 years old? Burns your hand and you got that welt on it.
I know, but sometimes even as an adult, you're like, let me just see. Let me try it out one more time.
Back in the day at White Castle, they always had a sign up, don't touch glass. It's hot. You still go.
All right, here's another one for you. We were talking about this before the show started. We got on the topic of The Godfather. And I said, I am one of those people that I'm not with the majority. When Fredo goes out on that long boat ride after playing with Mike's son, taking him fishing, and he gets whacked, I'm like, it should have happened. I'm like, Fredo went against the family. He sold Mike out. Mike almost got murdered, which would have been the end of the Corleone family dynasty with him, I said, look, Fredo deserves what he got. Maz feels differently.
Oh, my God. Don't leave Fredo alone, for crying out loud. Poor Fredo. He's a sweet guy. He made a mistake. You made it, Mike. You found out who all the rats were. That's your brother, man. And I know he made a terrible mistake. But Fredo had to have been spared. There was no need to kill Fredo at that point. They sent Al out on a boat with Fredo to finish him off. Come on, man.
Fredo should have known he was going to get whacked.
He knew.
He was too simple.
I think he knew. He just was ashamed and like he thought that's what he deserved.
No,
that's how I interpret it.
No,
Maz, he's been in the family longer than Mike.
No,
he knows the game.
I know, no, but no family member like that, a brother, has ever been whacked in the Corleone family.
This is true, but
he should have been left alone.
Matt, I would have whacked Fredo just for him being a dumbass.
I'm telling you.
That's your brother.
I'm telling you.
Hey, sorry.
I feel the same as Terry.
Don't you remember when Don Corleone got shot and he was fumbling around with his gun and then he's hugging his father, Papa, Papa, Papa. He lived a hell life. Leave the man alone.
He should have.
Leave him alone.
Look, I gave you a job in Vegas. You can do whatever you want. You can do all the whoring. You can do all the gambling. You can do all the fun. Guys, you got a job in a position. Just go out there and chill. You almost got me killed from Vegas.
Guys like Carlo, those are the guys that got to get killed. You got to answer for Sonny. You got to answer for Santino, Carlo. So he had to be whacked. Sal Tessio, he had to be whacked. You know, Abe Vigoda, Fish. He looked at Tom Hagen. He's like, hey, Tom. Get me off the hook for old time's sake. And Tom's like, nah, can't do it, Sally. And gave the head shake. That was it. Sally went on his ride.
Got behind him, give him a little.
No, Sally just did. They just took him out and shot him.
Maz should know better than anyone here.
Exactly.
Because you were close to the mafia when you lived in New Jersey.
I certainly was.
When you do wrong, you gone.
It's part of the
I know, but not your brother.
It's part of the bylaws.
Not your brother.
Your brother, your mama, it don't matter.
Hey, look, man, Nino Brown had to kill his boy. Okay, that's his brother. He had to kill his boy.
Brothers are brothers. I'm sorry.
Brothers got to hug.
Got to hug it out. Hey, listen, you were speaking of heaven and hell before, and I laughed. You know, we're Lion fans. We're in hell, but this is our year. We're going to be in heaven. And then we get the news today of my guy, CJ Gardner-Johnson, going down in a non-contact drill. He goes down holding his leg. He's screaming. He's punching the ground, punching his knee. They take him out. The captains come over, hug him out, hug it out with him. But we got some pretty good news out of that. Let's pop up the tweet. No structural damage, the MRI showed on CJ Gardner-Johnson. Of course, the safety from the Eagles, probably their top guy that they got in here. Yeah, he's on a one-year deal. He's on a prove-it deal. And that would have really sucked if he went down, because to me, he's the guy that's going to turn this defense around. He's going to give him what Ndamukong Suh used to give him back in 2013, 2014. So I'm so relieved that he is going to be okay. He is day to day. I thought he was done for the year. I was depressed today. I hit Terry up. I'm like, look at this. Look at this. And Terry's right. Oh, it's never good. It's never good when the captains come in and hug it out with you. I'm so relieved. Thank you to the football gods. That's all I got to say.
All right. You know what this tells me?
If this wasn't the guy that Maz begged for all off season, if this is a guy that he talked about as soon as they lost the Super Bowl, wanting the Detroit Lions to get, wanting Brad Holmes to pick up, I would be mad that he just ruined our tease into the second segment. That was going to be a great tease into the second segment. But here it is, CJ Gardner-Johnson. No problem at all. He's good. He'll be okay. No structural damage. We'll talk more in the next segment about it. But I got a question for you, Terry, as it relates to CJ Gardner-Johnson. Are we, you know what? I'll say that question. But first, a message from Lady James.
Walk into any Lady James
are you good, brother?
Anytime for award-winning haircut experience and automatically enter for your chance to win not one, but two vehicles of your choice. Courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. That's right, 2 cars. One for you and one for your wife, girlfriend, or best bud. Lady Jane's open 70 days a week. Walk anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Wicked awesome.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper. Tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media. Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.
Your childhood may be over, but playtime is definitely not. Outdoor Equipment Company is your source for outdoor power equipment, sales, service, and parts. Carrying top brands such as Bad Boy, LS Tractor, Steel, and so much more. Servicing the Great Lakes region with locations in Metro Detroit and Greater Lansing. For more information, visit them at OutdoorEquipCo.com. Once again, that's OutdoorEquipCo.com. Outdoor Equipment Company, your power equipment playground.
We had a lot of fun up there 2 weeks ago in Ray, Michigan. Shout out to Outdoor Equip Co. Also got a chance to watch Spencer Raxter race the tractors out there. Raxter, tractor has a nice sound to it. CJ Gardner-Johnson, you mentioned earlier, Tom Mazawey, injured at practice, but we found there is no structural damage. A lot of people were thinking the season was over with the injury to CJ Gardner-Johnson.
I'm sure he thought it too, right?
When you get the punch in the ground, that's a sign of an individual that's upset. You feel like it's going to be longer than you want to, and then you don't want to be injured at all. I want to put this up. Taylor Decker talked about the injury, and let's see what he had to say. We had that. Taylor Decker.
I don't know what happened, so I don't want to speculate on what happened. And then that's also, unfortunately, part of our game. But especially the defensive backs and the guys who have got to know him really well, it's going to suck to see a friend go down. Hopefully it's nothing major. Hopefully he's okay. It's the nature of our game, which sucks. But the NFL is, it's bigger than any one player, and we care about the players, but we have to go out there, we have to keep practicing, we have to move the drill down, we got to keep going, because it's urgency right now. So hopefully he's going to be okay. I think he brings a lot of confidence to that DB room. I mean, that guy he's a talker, and that's what DBs do. And he's going to make those guys around him better. He's a confident player. We've even seen that walkthrough where it's well, that's not a walkthrough tempo, but it is what it is. So I hope he's okay, because I think he can bring a lot of value. I know everybody knows that he can bring a lot of value to our team, but it's just the nature of the game.
And this video, courtesy of Danny Rogers and Lions. Appreciate that. And you hear that from one of the Lions captains, not a captain, but one of their big leaders, Taylor Decker. He's been here now for the better part of 5 years. He's a leader on that team. He's talking about the importance of CJ Gardner-Johnson. They brought him here to make a difference in that secondary like he did last year with the Philadelphia Eagles. I position this question to you, T. Foss. When CJ Gardner-Johnson went down earlier, I heard it. I said, okay, damn, he's going down. My first thought was, how good is he really? Is he really the guy? I'm thinking, is he replaceable by Brian Branch, who we just drafted in the second round last year? Now, we have depth at the safety position. CJ Gardner's the best. But how good is he? I look at the team last year, the Philadelphia Eagles. Their defensive line was loaded, from Robert Quinn to Hassan Reddick to Ndamukong Suh to Brandon Graham. The list goes on. How good is CJ Gardner-Johnson, and how much is he going to help the city of Detroit this year?
I guess we never really know, because of that defense was so good in Philadelphia. Right. But from talking to people in Philadelphia, they say he's pretty damn good, and that he was one of the reasons they did go to the Super Bowl. And he was a guy that was really pissed off they didn't win it. Here in Detroit, if the Lions make the Super Bowl, we're like, okay, this is cool. Whatever happens, happens. He's mad.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to go to the Super Bowl here. He wants to win it. But the other thing that I took out of this injury, non-injury, is we are trying to figure out, are the Lions all of that? Are they going to have a good season? Today, it tells me the Lions are blessed. This was a guy who thought his season was done. Lion fans thought his season was done. And now they say, nah, he's fine. This organization can do no wrong. And even in a situation like this, the Lions have dodged another bullet. And I just think this is another sign that we're going to see a stellar season at Ford Field.
Now, I can't believe I'm hearing those words out of Terry's mouth. In all the years I've known him, and it's a long time, I've never heard those words.
That's Captain Cynic over there,
I've never heard those words out of his mouth. Can you say that one more time? The Lions.
I'll say this. First time in my life, I will say this.
Are you going to break out your Lions shirt? The one shirt you have?
I'm not wearing a Lions shirt.
Oh, you're not
going that far.
You're not
going that far.
I would say this. For the first time in my life, the Lions are a real organization.
They certainly are.
Let me ask you this question, Terry. Explain that a little bit more for the people at home that are listening. Like, why do you feel? Because you're talking about a person that has watched the Detroit Lions for the better part of however long you want to admit to. Watch the Detroit Lions. You know they fail time and time again. They always let you down. They always pick you up at the bus stop and then let you off at the stop way before it's yours. What about this team? What about these players making you say that?
It's not just the players. I have more confidence in ownership. Sheila Hamp is a better owner than her dad or her mom
or her brother
who brought in Matt Millen
Lion fans
and kept him.
Yeah. No, the dad extended him because the organization was better run, or he said it was more better organized, some crap like that. This is an organization, and I know people say, well, what about the 90s with Barry and they won their playoff game? Here's what I'll say about the 90s, why it's better now or potentially could be better. In the 90s, you still had what I used to call 3 Mile Island. The players did their thing, the front office did their thing, ownership did their thing, and when things didn't go right, they blamed each other.
Yeah.
They were not cohesive. It was not, it was a organization that was blessed to have Barry Sanders, blessed to have Herman Moore, and they kind of wrote it there. But I look at it this way. You had Barry Sanders for 10 years that could only win one playoff game. That's shameful.
Yeah,
and then
when
I talk to former Lion players, they blame it on coaching. Wayne Fontes had 2 of his brothers as defensive back coaches. Neither one knew what they were doing. Wayne would, after the run and shoot had played out, then he's like, let's bring in the run and shoot and then call it the Great Lakes offense. They were always late to the party.
Well, this time it doesn't appear that they're late to the party. It seems like they are the party, and that's the hype train. Dan Campbell talking about the hype train that is the Detroit Lions.
I think is always the thing that's going to worry you is the hype train. I mean, as with most coaches, this thing is just taking off and it's out of control right now. And that's fine as long as we stay focused on the job at hand and the work. I just keep going back to that. We got to put the work in and earn it.
Maz, according to Dan Campbell, he's absolutely right. You got to put that work in to earn the hype train. So they're not buying into the hype train like Terry. Terry's not buying into the hype train. Terry sees it for what it is. Kind of like Dan Campbell saying, hey, you got to go out there and do it. He sees it for what it is.
That's what everyone is saying about this team, because they're one of the national darlings of the league, the Jets and the Lions. Those are the top 2 teams that are most talked about right now. We just saw Sports Center live here with Amon-Ra St. Brown. They're talking about the Lions. They never talk about the Lions. The laughing thing, when the Lions made their draft pick, what would they do the next second, Terry? After they make a Lions draft pick, they'd go to a commercial. Go to a commercial. Or barely talk about it.
Or take the Lions pick during commercial.
Exactly.
It's true.
I mean, it's a different beast now, but every national pundit said they better not read their own press clippings, and that's what Dan Campbell's talking about.
To start this season off, obviously, the first game of the season, Lions open up against the Kansas City Chiefs in Arrowhead, Thursday Night Football, following it up against the Seattle Seahawks. For the Detroit Lions, how do they want to get off this season? What would be considered a good start for the Detroit Lions in, 17 games? Just give me the first 5 games. What would be a good start for the Detroit Lions?
Well, good start would be winning both of those games. I'm talking about in Kansas City.
That's a great start.
But realistically, the way I look at it, they're not going to get blown out by Kansas City.
All right.
The thing that fans forget, what happens way too often, when you have your ring ceremony, when you have your first game after winning the Super Bowl or NBA Final or Stanley Cup, that first game is hell because you're sluggish, you're celebrating, your mind is back on what happened 5 or 6 months ago. I don't think Kansas City is going to play well that first game. The Lions are only 6.5-point underdogs. They may cover that spread. So I don't think they're going to get blown out.
I'm with you, man. I can't wait for that game. I said it last week. I've been saying this since day one. The best time to play the Chiefs is week 1 before they get rolling and right after that ring ceremony, because they're going to be pumped. They're going to be coming out of that stadium, out of the tunnel, It's going to be pomp and circumstance. They're going to get their rings. Then guess what? They got to reboot again. And meanwhile, the Lions are that contender that's coming out. They're Clubber Lang.
Yeah.
They're coming out. No one's rooting for them. They're just chilling out, and they're like, all right, let's go kick their ass now.
Now, I agree with both of you guys. You talk about the beginning of the season. Look, playing in the NFL or having played in the NFL, I no longer play. Having played in the NFL, that first week is chaos. That first week is hectic for any team, especially if your team, like you said, ring ceremony, the bling bling, and getting it all done. What's going to be this year? Are they going to be able to keep the same things that they did last year, keep that same energy? Talking about the Kansas City Chiefs, and for the Lions, can they be as good as they were in the last 10-game stretch last year? But one of the other things that we've talked about, opening season, there's a player that will not be playing for the Detroit Lions, and that's Jameson Williams. So that's one of the things you focus on. How good can they be without Jameson Williams the first 6 weeks? And I believe Mina Kimes from ESPN talked about that right here. Check it out.
Yeah, I'm really interested in watching the Lions offense these first few weeks without Jameson Williams, because they really don't have someone who can win outside and win deep. And last year, when DJ Chark, who was that guy for him for much of the season, was out for several games, their design pass rate went from, I believe, 65 to 51% or something. Basically, they went from being the Bengals to the Bears and just leaned on running the ball. I think with Gibbs, however, Ben Johnson, who's their very talented offensive coordinator, has the opportunity to do something different. The Lions offense was pretty similar to the Rams in a lot of ways. I think with Gibbs, he can steal from the San Francisco 49ers. I expect to see a lot of 21 personnel. I expect to see Jahmyr Gibbs used not too dissimilarly from Christian McCaffrey. And even if they can't get air yards, he can get explosives through yards after the catch with Gibbs, especially if he finds the right way to deploy him early on.
Man, just looking at his video, it gets me excited.
And then that's the film just from Alabama. You should have seen his film from Georgia Tech. I mean, it was more electric than the film he had in Alabama. T-Foss, this is why Brad Holmes went after Jahmyr Gibbs in terms of the dual threat that he is in the backfield, outside the backfield, catching the balls, receiving, taking the handoff. The guy's dynamic, and I think they're going to try to use him a lot, especially in the absence of J-Mo, and that's only going to help him when J-Mo comes back 6 weeks after the season starts.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, as a whole, as a community, we looked at the Gibbs draft pick incorrectly.
We did.
We're like, why did Brad Holmes pick a running back? He's not a running back. He is, but he's not. He's a slot receiver. They can put him in different positions. They can put him in motion. They can do a lot of things with him. The thing is, just give him the ball and let him roll. Wherever you get, set that package up. So they call him a weapon. I do believe that he is a weapon. They didn't draft him to be a running back. Definitely
built in the image of Alvin Kamara for the New Orleans Saints. Let's take a quick break, talk about Let's Stand for a second. Let's come back with Jahmyr Gibbs, the Detroit Lions, as week 1 of NFL training camp is underway. But first, message from Les Stanford.
Les Stanford has expanded into Ferndale, a trusted name for over 50 years. Les Stanford Buick GMC, same great service that customers have come to know. Go check them out on Woodward, just south of 9 Mile. Of course, if you're looking for a Chevy or Cadillac, Les Stanford in Dearborn. Find the brand you want at lesstanford.com.
How about that rookie? He is something else. How big is that?
All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage. The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. Because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
Big Boy Strawberry Fest has officially arrived, and we're here to show you the very best flavors of the season. Satisfy your sweet tooth with our deep-fried vanilla Oreos, strawberry hot fudge cake, and a slice of our classic strawberry pie. But that's not all. Cool off on a refreshing summer splash salad, or savor the flavors of our chicken Caesar wrap and strawberry bacon chicken wrap. And for breakfast lovers, don't miss out on our strawberry hotcakes or our mouth-watering red velvet waffle. Strawberry Fest is something for everyone. Celebrate the sweet season with us at Big Boy.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
Think you can play some golf? How about being a professional athlete like myself or Darren McCarty at Thursday Night Golf League at Top Golf, 5 Iron Golf. That is downtown in the Cambria Hotel. Foods, restaurants, drinks, eats, the place to be. Look, if you go down there and you mention code name Woodward Sports, you get half off your first time there. It's the place to be. It's about to heat up in August, so you don't want to be outside all the time. So go inside at 5 Iron Golf downtown, the Cambria Hotel. Welcome back to Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. Today it's T. Foss joining for Ryan Ermanni. Terry, we're talking about Jahmyr Gibbs and the Detroit Lions, talking about how good he was being. You're absolutely right. We looked at him as a running back, and by looking at him like a running back, we compared him solely to Bijan Robinson's running back ability. But we didn't talk about what he was as wide receiver, punt returner, kick returner. His electric dynamite, I think that's definitely going to help the Detroit Lions early on season. That's what we were talking about.
Right. You know who the Lions' rookie running back is this year? Mohamed Ibrahim.
Yep.
Yeah. He's University of Minnesota.
You know, he didn't get drafted, so we forget about him and assume he's not going to be on this. I think he's going to be on this team. He's going to play.
Yeah, you're talking about a hell of a running back. Mohamed Ibrahim, who tore his ACL 2 years ago, so he missed out on leaving after that year, which was the year after he led the Big Ten in rushing. I believe he led the Big Ten in rushing again last year.
I think he had 200-plus yards the game he got hurt, too.
He did. Yeah. He did. It was early in the year against Ohio State. It was early in the year. It
might have been.
But he's going to be a damn good player. I think he's the guy that they may have replaced Justin Jackson as well as Craig Reynolds on that list.
Justin Jackson's going to get re-signed, too. That just broke on Friday, so I like him, too, and he's good on special teams, so we'll see how it goes.
What else are we looking forward to at training camp right now? Like, what should we be talking about? What happened over this weekend and what's going on right now?
Well, hell, man, you want to see that offense be cohesive. You want to see Jared Goff. You want to see Jameson Williams and him get some type of reps going together, some type of togetherness, so they can get. You got a month to get this kid ready because he's going to sit out the next 6 freaking weeks, which is terrible. And I'll ask you, as an athlete, can you get it going now for a month, and then you get 6 weeks off, and then you got to reboot it up again? First of all, that's got to be one of the hardest things to do.
Definitely got to be one of the hardest things to do. My 2010, when I was with the New York Jets, Santonio Holmes missed the first 4 games of the year. He was suspended. And then when he came back week 5, he started rocking and rolling. I mean, he was ready to go. But he's a gamer. Santonio Holmes is one of those guys. I mean, you've seen him in the big moments, whether it was an Ohio State national championship game, whether it was in the Super Bowl with the catch. Some guys are built for that moment. Some guys can't operate like that. Jameson Williams, we saw how good he was at Alabama, but it remains to be seen. Can he be one of those guys? But here's another guy. In the meantime, Terry, Detroit Lions go out and pick up Denzel Mims from the New York Jets. He's a guy with a chip on his shoulder. Let's see what he had to say about that chip.
Well, he's a guy that's got tools, you know. He's a big receiver, and he's got speed, he's got length, and, you know, kind of relative to, hey, you're looking at what do you want to work with. It was, you know, this guy's, he's got the ability, and let's see if we can do something. Let's see if change of scenery helps this guy.
He's 6'3". He's a guy that can run, get downfield, kind of could be your this year's DJ Chark, considering you don't have that size and height. What do you think about the Lions going after Denzel Mims and what he wants to show in training camp?
Well, I mean, this was a no-brainer. They didn't really give up anything for him. And here's a guy with the potential, not saying he'll do it, but the potential to blow the top off the defense. I love speed. And when I was a youngster, football teams that were big used to scare me the most.
Yeah.
Now, teams with the most speed are the ones that scare me the most.
Stan Edwards had told me, talking about my pops, speed kills. He told me that when I was 7 years old. And the truth remains now that I'm 40, Maz.
I know that, man. And Denzel Mims is coming here from the Jets, kind of overlooked there. You know, Aaron Rodgers went and got his old guys to go along with Garrett Wilson and the rest of that Jets wide receiver band, and he was the odd man out. He was talking about it. You know, he was last year. He was complaining. You know, put me in the game, put me in. But you even said it. He didn't have a quarterback in the last 3 years to throw to him. This is a top draft pick out of Baylor, a couple of 1,000-yard seasons in Baylor. He's got the talent. It's right there. And now he gets a guy here at Jared Goff, and he gets a need because the first 6 weeks, the Lions' depth at wide receiver is not good. Let's face it. You're missing your top receiver. They got Amon-Ra St. Brown, who is your number one guy, but he's an underneath guy. He's like Cooper Kupp.
Yeah.
This guy is the breakaway. This guy is the OBJ on the team.
Well, this is the good news for the Detroit Lions as it relates to Denzel Mims. Terry hit the nail on the head. They didn't pay anything to get him. They didn't have to get up anything to get him. So this is free money, which Maz likes to say a lot, or you're playing with house money. Let me get your term correct. But this could be a great situation. I've seen it so many times where you have guys that have potential, but they were in bad situations where the coach didn't like them, or the offensive coordinator didn't like them, or they didn't get along with this, or there were too many guys there.
It's the wrong fit.
And it was just the wrong fit.
How about Jared Goff?
There you go.
Perfect example.
But Jared Goff was in the right fit. It just became the wrong fit. But with Denzel Mims, you look at the situation, he's upset. He's angry. He wants to get back. Well, I'm not going to say angry, wrong word. But he wants to show you that he should have been valued. He's coming to a team that needs that value. They need to see that, and they need that height. So I've seen it before, man. We had a DB by the name of Davin Holly when I was with the Cleveland Browns. He was a guy that just was in a situation in Pittsburgh with way too many DBs. He comes to Cleveland. He had 7 interceptions, like a guy that didn't even get drafted. 7 interceptions, so it's about the situation. What was I?
You know what else this could be? This could be an Aaron Rodgers situation. Aaron Rodgers has a history of not trusting young receivers. And so Aaron was like, I'm bringing my boys in. I don't know if this guy can fit the bill, so let him go. This
is true. I think we might have another Denzel Mims video. Let's see what we got.
Oh, shit, yeah. For sure. You damn right. I got a chip on my shoulder for sure. It's time for me to show it, though, and I'm ready to show it. Shit real big, you know. Finally get to go out here and show what I can do and play every position I want to play and just get to do everything I want to do, just not some stuff. So I'm thankful.
Parker, that was right on time. Appreciate that. And that's Denzel Mims. He's basically telling you heard him. His first word was a curse word. He's trying to let you guys know. And look, he's not dissing anybody because Garrett Wilson is a damn good receiver. He's a damn good receiver to the tune of Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Yep.
You know, they got Corey Davis. They had Barrios. They had some guys there who can play ball. But he's wanting to show you that he can play. And like you said, it's perfect time. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Marvin Jones Sr. They'll need wide receiver play. And I think he can be a guy that can fit the bill for the Detroit
I'm looking
Lions.
forward to seeing what the kid can do. I mean, I really believe he will make this team. And I believe that they have a lot of talent on this team, and wide receiver is a spot that you can make a name for yourself. I think this kid is in the perfect spot to be that number one draft pick that the Jets gave up on him. I think he's going to show here that he's worthy of that pick.
T. Foss, what do you want to see out of Dan Campbell? I feel like so much we talk about the players. We talk about, going 8-2 in the last 10 games. We talk about what they're doing. We talk about the draft picks. We talk about Ben Johnson. But I don't think we talk about Dan Campbell in terms of taking that next step. He's still a novice coach. This is, well, not novice, but he's still young. This is year 3 for him. What do you need to see out of him early on in the season to show you he's taking those steps?
I want to see him still play with or coach with an edge. He was a risk taker, and a lot of it kept the Lions in games. But what happens with coaches is when they get a better team, they forget about what got them there. They forget about taking chances. They become scared because their thing is, okay, I got a better team, so all I got to do is play it close to the vest and we'll win. I don't want to see that from him. I want him to still be gambling Dan. But of course, the thing is he's got to have a better September. I think people around here are going to freak out if they go 0-2, and he's got to show that he can get off to a good start.
Remember what Dan Campbell comes from, the coaching tree comes from, is Bill Parcells, is the grandfather, and the father is Sean Payton. 2 guys that took chances all the time. Sean Payton took the biggest chance, if you remember, in the Super Bowl against the Colts. What's he do?
Kick.
Onside kick to start the second half. They get it. They go down and score. Ball game was over. If they lose that one, if they lose that onside kick, he would have been a GOAT. Not the good GOAT, the bad GOAT. Yeah, so Dan Campbell's not going to change the way he is. You get what you see with that man.
Yeah, I think
we'll see.
This is true. Because situations make you turn into something else potentially. I just want, from Dan Campbell, I want to see same things. Like, he's a risk taker, and I'm fine with the risk taking. I want to see him take less accountability. I think a lot of times with Dan Campbell, he takes the blame for everything. Whether it's his fault or not, he takes the blame for the running backs fumbling. He takes the blame for the defense giving up big plays on 3rd and long in the end of games. he takes the blame for a lot of things that could be on his coordinator, could be on his offense, or could be on his coordinators, could be on his players. This year, I don't want to see him come to the podium after every game. Hey, look, I got to take the blame on that one. You know, I don't want to see that this year.
You know what? That's the new coaches speak. Everybody does that.
I don't need to see it because it's not always the coach's fault.
No, but they're trying to keep the locker room in harmony.
Right.
So I'll take the blame. Every coach does that.
That's this new kumbaya sports league, though.
Right.
That's everything. All the players against each other, friends. The coaches are nice. I don't need that. I don't need you to take the blame for everything if it's not your fault. If you didn't tell Ben Johnson to call that play on 4th and 2, and he called it anyway, and there's a turnover, I don't need you to go to the podium and take the blame.
Braylen, here's what I want you to do. When this whole football season is about to come up, every time you hear a coach says, "That's on me," I want you to do a little check mark. All right?
There'll be a lot of checks.
He's going to have a lot of check marks.
I'm going to run out of paper.
You will.
Just with Dan Campbell alone, I'll run out of paper.
But see, I don't believe that.
Yeah.
I think that's just coaches speak.
Speak.
It's sort of like the same as we got to be competitive. We got to run the football and stop the run. It's just crap. So I don't take much out of that. Because everybody does that. Central Michigan University had a crap season last year. You know what McElwain said? That was on me. It was all my fault.
Hey, what did Bobby Ross say, though?
He told Barry,
I don't coach that stuff.
Right, yeah. Bobby Ross, yeah.
He cracked at that point. He cracked at that point.
And you know what? He lost the locker room, too.
I know.
Lost the locker room.
We turned him into a babbling idiot, the poor man. Mm-hmm. He came here as like a professor and left here talking to himself, ready for padded walls.
And driving around Lake Orchard. This is the man that gave us womp, womp, womp. We lost him, man.
He did.
I know a guy that hasn't lost the locker room that used to go to University of Michigan. His name is Aiden Hutchinson.
Yeah.
Aiden Hutchinson, 2 years ago, he was the number 2 pick overall for the Detroit Lions. And Aiden says he's excited this year. Let's see what Aiden's excited about.
I can't wait to get the pads on against other dudes, you know. You go up against these same guys a million times, and by the end of camp, you're pretty, you're over it. You know, you want to go against someone else. So I can't wait till week 1, man. That's what I got my eyes set on.
Maz, week 1, he's excited to go against those guys, excited to get to the quarterback that is Patrick Mahomes. What do you think about his chance? What do you think about Aiden's chances to be the player of the game that night?
Oh, man. I don't know about that, man. I don't want to hear sophomore jinx either. I'm afraid for the sophomore jinx between him and James Houston. I want to see them come back and have the same type of year they had last year. Obviously, I'd like to see him do a lot better, and I hope they do. They got a lot more help around them now. Hopefully, it's all going to work out. But he can't wait until the Giants show up here next week when they do the joint practices right before their first home game again at Ford Field that Friday night against the G-Men. So they're going to play against the Giants, and then a week or 2 after that, the Jags come to town. So it's going to be great. That's what he wants. He don't want to hit his own guys anymore. He wants to go after those G-Men. He wants to go after who's he want to chase around? Danny Dimes.
Once again, da. I hear this every year too. Now
I know. But what else you wanted to say?
Hey, this time usually it comes like a week later. I want to hit somebody else.
This was first day.
Yeah, this is first day. But as far as the sophomore jinx, I want to quote the great philosopher Charles Barkley. There's no such thing as a sophomore jinx. They have tape on you now. So what you have to do is you have to adjust also because they've adjusted to you. So let's see if Aiden Hutchinson can adjust.
I hope you're right.
Well, speaking of adjustments, there is a team in New York, not named the G-Men, that made some adjustments in all season. They brought in Aaron Rodgers. That is the New York Jets. What is that team going to look like? I tell you like this. Catch by one wide receiver that used to wear a number I'm all too familiar with. Makes them look like they're going to be a damn good team. We'll talk about that next. But first, a message from Guardian Alarm.
Yes, Guardian Alarm. Customized solutions from real experts. Their professional technicians take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. With 24/7 professional monitoring, you can call anytime, day or night, and know that a Guardian team member will stay on the phone with you as long as needed. Your safety and security deserves technology that's been proven to work by people who are proven to care. So call this number right here, 1-800-STAY-OUT. One more time, that's
1-800-STAY-OUT.
Call them today and let them know Woodward Sports sent you.
Stay out.
Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
The sports marketing agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zuniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
How about that rookie? He is something else. How big is that?
All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage. The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. T-Foss filling in today for Ryan Ermanni. Or actually, not even filling in. Just came in.
He's hanging.
Just rolled in and hung up. Side note, Detroit Tigers are up 3-1 on the San Francisco Giants in a makeup game from this past April. Shout out to the Tigers. Mbappe, I know this is random. Did you see what the Saudis are offering everybody everything? Did you see what they offered Mbappe, who's probably the second best soccer player in the world from France? $322 million over 5 years.
Wow. What's Messi getting? Well, Messi has part of the team.
He owns everything.
Did you see his winning kick?
I did.
Wow. What a great call, too.
Opening night.
How about that? That's what the people paid for.
That's what you pay all that money for. You saw, I don't know. We should have put that in there. Should have opened up with that. But it was a hell of a kick. Penalty kick down in Miami. Everybody was at the game, front row. You see Kim Kardashian, whose son, Northwest, got the kit that was worn by Messi that night. But LeBron's right there. Randy Maverick is right there. The whole crew is right there. Serena's sitting there.
Yeah, technically that was not a penalty kick.
That wasn't a penalty kick. You're right.
Yeah, so
it was a free kick, right?
Free kick.
Is that what it's called? Free kick?
Right.
It's when the guys stand there and they hold their hands over their naughty bits, and you try to kick the ball around them. That's it. Right. That's what it's called. Well, whatever the hell that's called, that's what it was.
It's don't slam me in the balls.
Exactly. But the call was great.
Call was great. It was so crazy.
Just another winning team in Florida, I guess.
I didn't even feel like I didn't feel like it was the United States of America. Like it felt overseas.
It sure did.
It had the overseas feel to it. Like I thought it was real sanctioned.
That's why these tickets are going for over $1,000.
Yeah, you can keep that.
Soccer is just going to boost because of Messi in the United States.
This is true.
Maybe Mbappe will come here next.
Maybe he will.
Well, the transfer fee for him is with his contract that they offered him, including the transfer fee for him to go to the Saudi League, is worth up to $1.1 billion.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's insane.
Jeez.
That's nuts.
Now, how much is Miami paying him? Because
he owns a part of the team.
He owns a part of him.
Okay, because I know he turned down $270 million a year from the Saudis.
But you know what it is, and this is crazy. And now the U.S. has a prominent soccer league. Every athlete in the world, every actor in the world, every musician in the world, they want to get to the United States of America. They want to get a foothold in America. They want a foothold in the Western civilization sponsorship dollars in terms of how we promote everything out to the world. David Beckham, he showed you years ago when he signed that 5-year, $250 million deal. I think Mbappe's might be like 3 years, excuse me. David Beckham, he came here, what was that, 2007? For the 205, 5 years, $250 million. He set the precedent then that those foreign guys want to be over here. But speaking of guys from in-state or in-country that want to go to different places, Aaron Rodgers, the New York Jets, Mavs, they opened up their camp, and Garrett Wilson already showing you why. The connection between number 8 and number 17 is going to be amazing. Check out this catch by Garrett Wilson this past weekend.
A real ambition for this cage, yo, 13 years old with a shoebox.
you go.
There it is. One more time. We'll show you. I'll talk through it this time. So this is going to be a crossing route. Aaron fakes. Boom, boom. Little bootleg. He's supposed to catch it and he's supposed to stop. But what happens is they over pursue. He goes back. And when you have a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers that can throw across his body, he can make plays like that. First of all, the throw was amazing. Now, people could talk about this as in shorts and shells, not in pads. He had enough time. He would have been protected right there. To be able to throw across your body and put that ball in the spot, he did. But then for Garrett Wilson, number 17, the new number 17, for him to be able to make that catch down, that was amazing.
Number 17 is a hot number all of a sudden again.
It always was, man.
Yeah, all of a sudden. I also saw Sauce Gardner break up a couple of those passes, too. So that's a guy. I want to ask you, Terry. Sauce Gardner, and I bring this up last year, and we're always going to bring it up. I think they're going to be attached. Aiden Hutchinson and Sauce Gardner. At this time, right now, if I gave you the choice, who do you want on your team more?
How did we get to Aiden Hutchinson? I was talking about Garrett Wilson.
Young man asked the question. I'm still going Aiden Hutchinson for this reason. If I have a defense, I want a premier edge rusher ahead of a premier cornerback. I think over time, my defense will be better because if I've talked to a bazillion people in the NFL. If you can disrupt an opponent's quarterback, you're going to win the game most of the time. Cornerback can't disrupt quarterback. He can shut down one of the receivers, but then you just go the other way.
Well, Deion did a pretty good job.
Well, one guy, and he did.
Well, it's not one guy.
Bring it back to Sauce, man.
I have other guys, too, that I can name that did a good job of shutting down sides of the field like Champ Bailey, Charles Woodson early on. But for me, it's like this. The key word you said is premier disruptors. Is Aiden Hutchinson going to be a premier disruptor remains to be seen. Meanwhile, Sauce Gardner already has become a shutdown quarterback.
He is premier.
So, exactly. So, like, I understand what you're saying. You're absolutely right. That's why I'm always preaching defensive line. Like, you'll always hear me say interior defensive line, outside defensive line. And this shit's all I talk about. But when you got special guys like Champ Bailey, like Darrell Reeves, I played with Darrell Reeves, and he shut guys down. You couldn't just go to the other side because you can't get the same production from Brandon LaFell's that you can get from Randy Moss. You can't get the same production from whoever's on the backside of Andre Johnson in Houston in 2007.
Yeah.
You couldn't get the same production on whoever's on the backside of T.O. for Dallas in 2007. Well, I guess it was Austin Miles. So I understand the disruptive thing, but Sauce Gardner, product of the city, he is something special. Getting back to the Jets, Maz, thinking of this question, everybody's all of a sudden, it's Aaron Rodgers. It's the New York Jets. They got the new uniforms, which are amazing, by the way. They got the new uniforms. They're the team that's coming. Who is the team in the AFC East? You still have Josh Allen, the Buffalo Bills. Yeah. You still have Mac Jones and Bill Belichick and the Eagles, and not the Eagles, the Patriots. And don't forget about that team in South Florida, named the Miami Dolphins and Tua Tagovailoa. I pose this question to both of you guys. Which quarterback in that division is under the most pressure? Is it Josh Allen after the season he had last year? Is it Aaron Rodgers after the season he had last year and the team he's on now? Is it Mac Jones or is it Tua Tagovailoa?
My pick is Aaron Rodgers, and I'm saying that because he's coming off his worst year as a pro. The Packers did not make the playoffs. He was going to retire. He's getting all this money, $50 million a year, kind of handcuffed the Packers. Then they go through the whole, are they going to trade him? Are they going to keep him? Is he going to show up? He goes into his black hole for 4 days. He comes out. He's expecting to be a Jet. And, of course, it took months to get that deal done. Once it got done, he's New York's favorite child. He buys a home in Cedar Grove, New Jersey, right in the middle of Giant Stadium and their practice facility.
Close to who?
My sister.
There you go.
My sister's hood. So, nonetheless, Aaron Rodgers switching teams. And it reminds me of, unfortunately, the Brett Favre era when he came to New York and it didn't work out and it got really bad because Brett Favre made some pretty bad decisions with what to do with his cell phone. And Aaron Rodgers is not that guy, I hope. But Aaron Rodgers comes here. He's like a Hollywood guy. He fits in New York really well. I believe he is going to have a great year, but I still believe he's got the world on his shoulders. New York is watching, Terry.
My two guys is Aaron Rodgers and Josh Allen. Now, Allen is turning the ball over.
You might as well pick the other two as well.
Huh?
You might as well pick the other two as well. Pick all four of them. Pick one.
But my guy is Aaron Rodgers. He is not a New York Jet. He is the face of the New York Jets. First of all, they play in New York. The other thing, Aaron Rodgers got to fight. Is he in decline? Is he still good enough to carry a franchise? He's got to answer all those questions. And guess what? Every time he looks up, he's going to be like 20, 30 microphones in front of him. When he was in Green Bay, he probably had 2 or 3 in front of him. So that's a lot of pressure. There's going to be a lot of scrutiny. I think it's by far Aaron Rodgers. Josh Allen is a second because we're starting to question him for the first time.
Parker, I come to you before I go. For the AFC East.
All right, I think it's Aaron Rodgers. Realistically, Josh Allen is definitely probably second, but Aaron Rodgers, like Maz said, took months to get that deal done. People are expecting you to make the playoffs, and if you don't make the playoffs, it's hell for him from there.
They're expecting him to win a Super Bowl.
That's a little much. It's like,
and plus, doesn't Aaron Rodgers have to prove
that he still has
weirdo?
It? That he still has it?
Yeah, he still has it, and he's not a weirdo.
Well, he is who he is.
Right.
He is who he is, but I think he's like Hollywood, man, and I think he's perfect. I think he's on the perfect team at the perfect time. It looks like he's having a time of his life so far. And I know it's only been a couple of mini camps and 1 practice session, 1 week of practice because they're going to be on Hard Knocks. We're going to see a lot on Hard Knocks, I think.
Yeah.
And I think we can make our decision coming up after that. But I believe Aaron Rodgers got the pressure on him, and I believe he'll answer the bell.
Okay. So we got a lot of Aaron Rodgers. So I'm now under pressure to not say Aaron Rodgers. And don't worry, because I'm not saying Aaron Rodgers. I got another quarterback. When we come back from break, I got the quarterback that I believe is under the most pressure in the SEC. And it ain't Aaron Rodgers. I tell you that. But first, a message from Big Boy.
All right, let's get it going, man. You know it's Strawberry Fest at Big Boy, and start your day off with a great breakfast at Big Boy. The strawberry hot cakes, the mouth-watering red velvet waffles. And if you're not in the mood for breakfast, you could step up your game. How about a strawberry bacon chicken wrap? Or you can have a salad. You want to keep it light like Terry Foster does? Get the Summer Splash salad, a little refreshing. But then you got to have the best meal of the day. That's called dessert. And that's right, the classic strawberry pie, the deep fried vanilla Oreos, and the strawberry hot fudge cake. Or you can just go in there and say, hey, give me a Big Boy at your local Big Boy.
We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m.
It's the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour.
You're a good coach, Tim. Oh, great shot.
Some of the biggest names in Michigan sports, and some, well, not so much.
Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, shit. Go in.
Watch episodes at woodwardsports.com.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1, what's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2, join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3, bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit. The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
All right, I left you guys before the break with a quick tease. I said, who is the quarterback in the AFC East under the most pressure or stress? Not stress, wrong word, pressure. And Maz, you said Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Sarah, you said Aaron Rodgers. And so did you, Parker? I don't think it's either. I think it's Mac Jones.
All right.
Oh, give me a break.
Would you relax? Calm down. I didn't say anything when any of you guys talk. This is why I say Mac Jones. Let's start at Aaron Rodgers. The Jets didn't even make the playoffs last year. If Aaron Rodgers makes it to the playoffs, they're happy. They'll tell you it's a disappointing season, but they'll be happy to be in the playoffs for the first time since I played for the Jets in 2010. They would be happy, but we see them going to the second round. Second of all, Aaron Rodgers is going to be a New York Jet next year. Josh Allen is going to make the playoffs. He's going to get beaten the first and second round like he always does. But Josh Allen signed a major deal. He's not going anywhere. He'll be the quarterback for the Buffalo Bills next season as well. Tua Tagovailoa, he will be the quarterback for the Miami Dolphins next season. Mac Jones is no guarantee that he will be the starting quarterback for the Patriots next season. There's no guarantee that he'll be the quarterback for this season. Last year you saw they replaced him a couple of times with Bailey Zappi. They like him just as much as they like Mac Jones. And they played Mac Jones by making Matt Patricia your offensive coordinator last year. They did him no favors and he didn't grow. He's in a unique situation because if it doesn't work this year, there's no guarantee he'll be the starting quarterback in 2024. Every one of the other guys in his division, they'll be the starting quarterback in 2024. So that's why I think he's under the most pressure.
Well, Tua might be hurt, so that's
he will be hurt.
Okay, yeah, but I guess that's not pressure.
But that's being hurt. Right. That's anybody.
That's being hurt. But Mac Jones, first of all, I like Mac Jones. I do. And I believe he will have a good year this year. I just don't think the Patriots have enough talent to get out of that division. That's a tough
You don't have to get out of the division. It's about how you play as a quarterback.
I think he's going to be good. I really do believe.
I didn't ask you, is he going to be good, though? I think he has the most pressure because he has the most pressure to be good.
He's got Belichick. He's got Belichick.
But you know what? He had the worst offensive coordinator in NFL history.
Yeah, in history.
But he's not the only quarterback that's had that before and been fired for it. Like, look, I understand that Matt Patricia's first of all, he's not even an offensive coordinator. Let's start there.
He was last year.
But what I'm saying is he's not by trade is what I'm saying. So let's start there. I'm not saying it was being funny. Excuse me.
He's a rocket scientist, though.
Exactly. All I was saying is that, look, it's Mac Jones. Because no matter who the offensive coordinator was last year, whether he was qualified or not, Mac Jones was the quarterback. And those stats are going to say Mac Jones. They're not going to say Matt Patricia. If he doesn't do anything this year, I think he might be in trouble.
That's a very, very cute synopsis you gave. But aren't the New England Patriots off the radar now?
I think so.
We don't expect the Patriots to contend for the Super Bowl every year. We don't expect them to win the division. They're what the Lions used to be.
But the question wasn't which one of these teams that is probably going to make the playoffs under the most pressure. It was which one of these quarterbacks in this division is under the most pressure.
I think Mac Jones, if he screws up, and Maz thinks he's going to be good.
Yeah.
But won't you just kind of throw it away? Well, New England isn't what it used to be, so
they're not.
Who cares?
But Bailey Zappi is on that team as well, and they did use him last year. Matter of fact, he beat the Lions.
Yeah.
If you remember.
He did.
He beat the Lions.
He almost beat Michigan State, too.
Yeah, he almost did.
He almost did. He had 532 passing yards. But the Jets, man,
the Zappi hour.
Jets are going to be interesting. I get a chance to go to the training camp, and we'll do some reporting from there August 15th and 16th. But Jets are going to be interesting because not only are they good on offense, you saw that play by Garrett Wilson. You saw the connection from Aaron Rodgers. It's also on defense as well, Robert. You saw me. Big Quinnen Williams got paid this year.
Yeah.
They also got a guy by the name of Sauce Gardner who makes these tremendous plays. You saw him shut down cornerbacks, wide receivers all last year. He's still making these plays on some of the best wide receivers, including his teammate, Garrett Wilson. Take a look at this one right here. You got the
G. Here we go. So you might drill his favorite quarterback. You know what I mean? Allen he wanted to put this on special. He brought the idea to me. I think it would be a good idea. I thought he felt wrong with it. Yeah. You put it on? Like I was going to
So, Sauce Gardner giving Aaron Rodgers a chance. I was looking for another video. We'll have that one in a second. That was on me. But this is another video, Maz and T-Fo. This shows the side of Aaron Rodgers that no one thought existed. They said in Green Bay, he didn't hang out with his teammates. He didn't befriend his teammates. His teammates didn't like him. Well, you see a rookie, you see a second-year defensive player in Sauce Gardner gifting Aaron Rodgers a chain, showing the love, showing the support that he has. Terry, I got one question for you.
I got one answer.
Why wasn't it Garrett Wilson?
Maybe Sauce has more pedigree in there. Maybe he's Detroit.
He's Detroit, and I love it.
The D is coming out of him.
The D, and I appreciate that. Shout out to Sauce Gardner, Detroit's native, Detroit's own, King High School. But it's supposed to be your wideout. Garrett Wilson is in the process of trying to become one of the best wide receivers in the league. Aaron Rodgers is now his quarterback, who's saving him from Mike White, as well as Joe Flacco, as well as Zach Wilson, as well as whoever the hell else played quarterback last year. Come on, Garrett's got to be you to drop the drip on him, because you the one that won 1,600. You the one who won 14 touchdowns. I thought it should have been Garrett Wilson, but with that being said, Tom, this shows you who Aaron Rodgers is becoming. Aaron Rodgers went in that house for 4 or 5 days. He turned it dark, took some ayahuasca, and he came out of that house a smarter man, because he's playing the game of life right now.
He is, and Sauce Gardner gave him the chain because he broke up that pass. That's why he gave him that chain. He's like, don't worry. You don't have to play against me. I'm going to take care of you. Garrett Wilson and you are going to be a great combination in the AFC, and that's why he gave it to him. I think Sauce Gardner's I think he's the quarterback of that defense. So maybe the two quarterbacks get together, give each other the chain. But earlier that day, as a matter of fact, Aaron Rodgers went on the podium after practice, and I'll tell you, man, this is a guy that's going to be around for a while.
Energy, I love being around the young energy, that excitement. There's a great feel to this team of guys who are young and super talented on their first contract. Many of them, obviously Q just got paid, but when you have so many great players on rookie deals, it's pretty exciting knowing you can do something. You got a good window. It's not just a one-year thing where you can be competitive, which is fun.
T-Foss, is Aaron Rodgers' energy different from Green Bay to New York, or is he in a better situation that's causing him to be who he is?
The energy is different, but I want to, Maz, one thing, you never told me what a cute little guy Braylen is. Braylen is falling for the fake.
Whoa.
Aaron Rodgers is in a new situation.
He's a Hollywood.
He's with new teammates. He's in a new city where he's got to walk the straight and narrow.
Right.
So he is, it's sort of like when you come over to somebody's house, you take your shoes off, real nice and everything, and then
you have a hole in your sock.
But then as things progress and the losses mount,
you're looking through the cabinets after when mom
the season goes through. Aaron Rodgers is going to be looking for the pills and slamming doors and everything. And I want to know this: will Aaron Rodgers even show up for training camp next year?
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this question, T. I go to you first, and then I'll bring it to you, man. Is it Aaron Rodgers is right now playing the role? So he's being nice. This is his first time in a brand new house. He's taking off his shoes. He's putting on the socks that you give him. He's flushing the toilet, washing his hand. Is he doing all of that, or is he finally in a situation where he feels like he's wanted? He's belong. You got to think about the psyche of Aaron Rodgers. And I'm not trying to give him credit, but I understand how psyches work. He feels like Green Bay just drafted, like they didn't want to draft him, they just did because he was there. Then he sat behind Brett Favre for 3 years or 4 years, was it? Then he plays. I don't think he's ever technically felt like he belonged in Green Bay. Maybe this is the first time he feels like he belonged. Yes, he got paid, but it's New York. They're making him feel good. This is the first time it's been, hey, it's me.
Green Bay made a monumental mistake. When you have a guy like Aaron Rodgers,
by not having owners,
you don't treat him like an employee.
Yeah.
That's a partnership.
Exactly.
So y'all got to get together. Y'all got to figure this out together. Do you consult him sometimes? Yes.
Yeah.
I know he's a player, not a GM, but yes, you do talk to him. And you do things that he wants to do sometimes, not all the time.
Yeah.
But that's a huge mistake. It seems like maybe the Jets are on their best behavior too. They're treating Aaron Rodgers like a partner. And that's what you do with your superstar or your big name players.
Yeah, they talk to him. Hey, who do you want us to go get for you? I want this guy, and this guy.
Yeah.
The only one they didn't get him was OBJ. Remember you wanted OBJ?
Right. Yeah.
They couldn't afford him, but they got everyone else he wanted.
This is true.
And then they said, who do you want us to send to the Lions?
Exactly. And then,
Gerard Davis.
With the Packers, if they had only, like you said, if they'd only told them, look, I think we want to draft this Jordan Love kid. We think he could be the heir apparent to you in 3-4 years down the line. Instead, they didn't do anything. They didn't tell him. He wanted a wide receiver. He wanted an offensive lineman. He wanted something to help him, not look past him. And that's where they made the mistake, and it never healed after that draft. And that was the end. That was the end.
I agree, and that's why I said, you said I'm cute because I think that, I'm falling for the banana in the tailpipe. But I don't know if I'm falling for it as much as you talk about it. They drafted him 24 overall. He wanted to go number 1. He felt like Green Bay drafted him because, hey, he was a diamond in the rough that still was left at 24, and Green Bay knew Brett Favre would get old at some point. Waits 4 years. Then he starts at quarterback. Then they get rid of his coach, Mike McCarthy. Then it's a bunch of things that led to this feeling. Meanwhile, you go out there to New York, and they make you feel good. They tell you it's your team. Like, they're giving you everything you want, and vice versa. They're opening up the red carpet. But, Maz, I've been watching Suits a lot lately.
Yeah, I know you have.
I always bring it back to Suits. It's never a good thing when two desperate partnerships join up. The New York Jets were a desperate partner looking for the quarterback to get them over the hump, and Aaron Rodgers is a desperate guy trying to get out of Green Bay. Two desperate situations. They linked up, not necessarily.
So you don't like the marriage?
It's not that I don't like the marriage. I'm just saying be careful. I think
he said the marriage could splinter.
Exactly.
Okay.
It could splinter. Right now it looks good. Now I'm being optimistic that it's gonna work. I saw that catch. I saw that throw this weekend. I got excited as a Jet guy. I was extremely excited. But there are things that both sides have done where you're like, if there's ever something that shows is real, are they going to support each other in the end?
Hey, this is the new marriage, Maz. It's like when you first are married, when she farts in bed, you ignore it.
Of course.
This is true.
Now you said, bitch, what did you just do?
She Dutch ovened you.
Right.
Now listen, last Jets thing, because I know you guys are sick of the Jets, but Robert Saleh got on the podium after Aaron Rodgers.
Oh my God.
And Robert Saleh basically said, hey man, we're a good team. I love where this team's going. And he also said, we're as deep as any team in the NFL. Check it out.
No, for sure. They're I love it. We're as deep as anybody in football. And it's a group it's a cool group because of the men that are in that room. You guys know how big character is to us in this building, and every single one of them, starting with Quinnen, they're just made of the right stuff. They're a really, really fun group to be around, and it's once that offense gets rolling and we can get some leads and they can unleash all that pass rush ability that they have. I don't know, we'll see, but it's gonna be fun to watch them.
I love Robert Saleh as a person. He was with the Seattle Seahawks when I was there. Great dude. Got a chance to talk to him this past season a couple of times. I hope they have a successful season in New York. We'll go to a break in a second. I'll tell you why, though. I hope they have a successful season. Not a lot of people like Robert Saleh. A lot of people like him, so it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. If he doesn't have a good season, that joker could be on the hot seat. So I wish they do have a good season. But let's get around the NFL. Let's get outside of New York, get inside Detroit, talk about the Shield as a whole. Tom Mazawey will do that for us. But first, a message from Fairway Packing.
Yes, Fairway Packing. For over 60 years, Fairway Packing Company has provided Michigan's finest restaurants, hotels, and casinos with prime beef, Wagyu beef, and dry-aged beef. Experience the Fairway difference for yourself today. Visit the steak shop in Grosse Pointe Woods for grab-and-go steaks or order online at fairwaypacking.com. It's Fairway Packing.
Source, age, prime, cut to perfection.
To perfection.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man-meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Hey, second hour of the day, Ermanni and Edwards with Tom Mazawey. Today it's Tom Mazawey, Braylen Edwards, and Terry Foster. T. Foss, how you feeling over there? I see you rocking the camo with the bucket hat with the D swag.
Yeah, it's my Tiger hat.
It's the Tiger
I get
bucket?
the Tiger hat every year, but 1 year I decided to get the bucket.
Well, you got to wear it more often.
Was that a game giveaway, or did you buy that?
No, the game giveaway.
No, that's paid for.
Yeah, this is for real.
That's authentic.
Yeah.
I told you I got my Detroit Stars jersey in a nice medium on Saturday night.
So what do you do with the medium? Wear it as your
I
underwear?
gave it to my kid. Give it to my kid.
Oh.
She's like, Dad, this for me? I'm like, yeah, honey, that's all yours. My little 16-year-old.
Well, it looks like you might want to wear that hat that my bucket had a little more often. I catch that. Detroit Tigers just did a 2-run home run to take the 5-1
Zach Short.
lead. Zach
It's
Short.
5-1.
So keep wearing that bucket hat. Tom Mazawey, you love this segment, this hour, this time, this subject, the last, and it is the NFL and going around it.
Let's go, man. Hey, let's start it off with some uniform stuff, all right? I know everyone digs the throwback unis. Let me tell you something about the throwback unis. They're better than the unis now. Okay, so why not just go to them full time? Let me start with number one. Meet the Tennessee/Houston Oilers. Check out these beauties. They debuted them. We gave you a little hint of it last week when the Tennessee Titans showed you a little oil spilling on their Titan logo. This is what they look like. Braylen, I know you know, Dad played for the Oilers. They're one of your favorite teams. They're one of my favorite teams.
No.
The Oil
They
Derrick.
are my favorite team of all time.
Look at that gorgeous uniform.
I will be rocking these oil drums this year. I already put in an order to get one of these jerseys. Pops and I, you know he goes to the Tennessee the weekend every year. I'm going this year. He's not leaving me at the crib this year. I will be going at Tennessee Titans weekend. Should be a lot of fun. I love these uniforms, man. My dad played for them. I had remember the wristbands back in the day, Terry? The white wristbands. They had the diamond logo of all the NFL teams. Love this. No, 100%, man.
Did you wear like a couple of them?
I did.
3 in a row?
I used to, man, when I was a kid, I had like
before
7.
The sleeves. Before the sleeves.
Way before.
Yeah,
way before the sleeves. Sleeves didn't come into Randy Moss.
Terry, what do you think of that oils? What do you think of them?
I'm in the minority. I don't like powder blue.
Oh, jeez.
I'm just, it's all right.
Love your blue, man. Love your blue. The Astrodome. House of Pain. No?
Yeah, it was bad turf, though, man.
Whatever.
What they got to do? See, we was doing so good,
We're talking
man.
about the Oilers.
Now we're talking about my powder blues.
A former AFL champion.
That's good.
Fine. All right,
let's go on cement.
Let's see if you like this one better.
So did the Lions. So did everybody in the 80s.
Let's go to the Atlanta Falcons, and this is my helmet. And they should have the red jerseys to go with it. The Reds are back for the Atlanta Falcons. At least a few games, though. Look at that beautiful helmet.
I love the red helmet.
That's the original.
It's a beautiful helmet. It's the original. I love it. Only reason why I don't like the red jerseys, just same thing Ryan Ermanni told you about certain uniforms represent losing. When I see those red Atlanta Falcons jerseys, I used to live in Atlanta in the 80s. They represent losing. The only cool thing I see with the red jerseys is Deion Sanders. Outside of that, they represent losing. But those helmets, that helmet is fire.
T. Foss, what's the first player that you, and I'm testing on, see how good you are going back.
I got one.
Who's the first player you think of when you see that red helmet? Atlanta Falcons. You got anybody?
What's the quarterback?
Steve Bartkowski.
Steve Bartkowski, yeah, him.
How about Tommy Nobis, NFL Hall of Fame?
Jesse Tugman.
Way back.
Yeah. Well, if I'm just throwing it out there.
Bill
How
Goldberg.
about William Andrews? Great running back.
You know
Bill
what?
Goldberg.
I didn't pay attention to the Atlanta Falcons growing up.
All right.
But I do like the uniform.
Okay, cool. Let's go to this one because
They
this
ignore
one,
Bill Goldberg,
this next
JB.
one is near and dear to my heart. It's the 1986 New York Sack Exchange Jet uniforms with the Jet helmet. That should be their freaking helmet now. Not the piece of garbage that they're towing around, the one Aaron Rodgers is wearing. That, my friends, is a helmet.
Excited. I actually will see these uniforms when they play, I think week 4. They play.
I think they play the Dolphins in one game, and the other one, I think they play the Chiefs.
The Chiefs.
The Bills?
The fourth game. Yeah, I'll be at that game. I can't wait to see this. We talked about this. That was the one thing I wanted to wear as a Jet. You know how when when you're someplace.
Yeah, but you wore a great helmet. That's
No.
The original Jet helmet's beautiful.
100%. And I had no problem with that. But one of the things when you play somewhere and you know that they have a chance to wear throwback jerseys, like I always wanted to wear that helmet.
Yeah.
Like I always wanted to wear that Jet helmet. Like I loved it. I hated the Jets growing up because I hated green and white because I hated Michigan State.
Yep.
But Keyshawn, they used to wear those sometimes, the throwback Jet helmet. So I wanted to wear them and never got a chance. So I'm excited that they're going back to them this year, and I'm excited that I'm going to one of the games that they will be wearing.
Terry, what do you think of the old Sack Exchange Jet helmet?
Love it.
Yeah.
It's classic.
Kelly Green.
And you know the green and the white looks cute. Kelly Green is like I like that darker green. So
Is cute your phrase? Is cute must be your phrase of the month? Like cute is you said it 3 times.
I think that's his word of the day.
It's your fault.
That's the word of the day. If this was Pee Wee Herman, that would be the word that came out of the box.
You can't. And that was probably a mistake I made. You can't describe a man's uniform or a man's suit as cute.
Thank you. I was waiting for that. I appreciate the apology.
I messed up.
All right.
I like it. How about that?
There we go.
Now, are you a throwback guy? You like the old unis or do you like the newer ones?
You know what?
Like if I gave you a choice of the old Broncos or this Broncos, which one are you taking?
This Broncos.
Really? Instead of the Orange Crush?
Yeah, the Orange Crush. It's just too orangey for me.
Okay.
I tell you, the other one I hated was the Pittsburgh Steelers.
The helmet never changed.
You talking about the Bumblebee?
The Bumblebee.
I knew you were gonna say the Bumblebee.
Those unis are bad.
Those too.
And Green Bay. Green Bay.
Yeah, the Green Bay
the
polo
blue?
ones
The
too
blue?
are bad. Yeah, those were bad.
It's like dark blue. Like why are y'all blue?
Look like they're wearing a tuxedo.
All right, I got another story for you guys. This is a big story.
All right.
Remember Jordan Addison, the number 1 pick of the Vikings out of USC. Great receiver, transferred from Pitt, went to USC. Number 1 pick of the Vikings, going to play outside of Justin Jefferson. Last week we reported he was driving. What was he driving, Braylen?
What did I say he was driving?
You said he was driving an Urus.
A Lamborghini
Urus. Because they said it was an SUV, and he's like, there can only be 2 SUVs that can go that fast. 140 miles an hour, Terry, in a 55 zone. Well, it turns out he was doing it for a reason. He had a sick dog.
You say daughter or dog?
Dog. Woof, woof. That dog.
No, that's not a reason. That shouldn't be a reason. They should throw his ass in jail.
They're not even going to suspend him, by the way.
So
because he didn't hit anybody.
So one, I pat myself on the back. I told you, 140. It's only a couple trucks it could be because you're not doing 140 consistently in a Denali or a Tahoe, those used trucks, or an Expedition or Explorer. But Terry, you said, what do you think should happen in a situation? You said they should throw him in jail.
Yeah, I mean that's irresponsible.
But what if the dog's dying?
Forget the dog.
No, don't forget the dog. Nobody was hit. Nobody got ran into. If somebody did, I put it to you like this. If somebody did get hit and ran into, then I would say forget the dog because humans are more important. Yes, humans are more important. And this comes from a guy who just had to put a dog down a couple of weeks ago. Yes, humans are more important. But if he didn't hit anybody and he didn't, give him a ticket, let him plead it down to a misdemeanor, and let him go about his business.
Well, you can't spend the night in jail?
No.
Teach him a little lesson?
The dog is dying. If he spends the night in the jail, the dog dies.
Okay, let me go back to what you said earlier, my friend.
Oh, shoot. Here we go.
Where would you rather go to, heaven or hell?
No, I didn't say that. I said...
For an hour.
I said if you had to go for an hour, which one would you go to?
You said hell.
I did. I said I want to see you get the lay of the land because I'm never coming here.
Okay, but then this guy needs to understand that driving 140 miles an hour is irresponsible and that
it's not enough to get me put in hell.
He needs to learn his lesson. He needs to never drive 140 miles an hour again.
I know, Tim, but he did have an excuse this time.
That was not an excuse.
It's just don't be like that.
It is very fast.
Damn dog.
If going 140 gets you to hell, well, guess what? I already got my tickets in the mail.
All right, what if it was his daughter?
His daughter, that's different.
People love their animals.
I know that. But there is a time and a place. There's a pecking order.
Like I said, if he didn't get hit, if he didn't hit someone, if he didn't run into someone, then he doesn't need to spend the night in jail. But if he would have did those things, the excuse of what it was completely goes out the window. That's where I stand with people. Where do you stand with it? Should he get in trouble?
Parker, put out one of those things there that you do.
Now, dude, I'm not saying put him in jail and throw away the key. But you can't spend one night in the clink?
No, for what?
Well, listen, if it wasn't for his dog, he did deserve a night in jail.
I agree, but it's not. If it wasn't for his dog, he wouldn't be going 140.
Right. Good point.
He wouldn't have been going 140.
We think.
could we think?
Does he have a ticket before that for going 140?
We don't know.
No. But let me tell you, the most dangerous time to leave, to go on the freeway is after practice with pro athletes. Man, these dudes just zoom.
Oh, here we go. Now it's a pro athlete day. You know, we're going to put a pin in you and pro athletes, and we're going to talk about Centron. And when we get back, we're going to figure out what the chat has to say about this poll. Should Jordan Addison be sent, which was basically...
Should he be punished?
Should he be punished because of his dog being sick? But first, a message from Centron.
How would you like to win a 100,000 Vegas getaway? Take your closest friends and live it up in the city that never sleeps. It's the Centron Energy. Drink it and live it. Purchase a 24-pack today and enter to win the $100,000 Vegas getaway at Centron. DrinkCentron.com/Vegas and buy Centron at your local Meijer store. Centron, the healthier energy drink with great taste and the choice of people who desire to look good, feel great, and be the best version of themselves. That website again, drinkcentron.com/Vegas.
All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage. The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network. How would you like to win not one, but two vehicles of your choice? One for you and one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Get to Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut and automatically enter for your chance to win. Courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome. Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media. Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.
3:30, we are back. Edwards and Maz, T. Foss, JB, Parker.
Fellas, can I interrupt you and tell you a story?
Well, you just
about
did,
the
so
whole
go
dog
ahead.
thing.
You just did, so go ahead.
All right. A friend of ours retired.
Yeah.
And I was looking for a retirement card. Couldn't find it. But
Kroger's got them.
No. I found 4 cards. Sorry about your dog dying. Sorry, Fido is dead. But my man retired. I couldn't find a retirement card. Then I kept looking. Then I found 3 cards where men are marrying men. Congratulations. Not saying there's anything wrong with that. But what happens more often? 2 dudes get married or somebody retires?
I think the retirement wins.
Right. Couldn't find it.
Now, why does it have to be man and a woman and a woman and a woman and a man? Why can't it just say congrats on your marriage?
Because they're trying to appease
the normalization of everything.
Stuff has changed. Life has changed.
It is.
I know that.
Here's another thing you won't find, Maz. Look at commercials and couples in these commercials. You will never find a white dude married to a white woman.
I know that.
It's always mixed.
I know.
Because they're trying to appeal to a wider audience.
I get it. I hear you. It is what it is, I guess.
Parker,
it is what it is.
Parker, I just looked at your message. Do you have the video of the Ura situation? The Ura situation?
I had just, that was the Sauce Gardner video I was talking about.
Oh, okay. My apologies. Maz, go ahead. Stay in the NFL.
All right, I got it. Here we go, guys. More bad news for the Bills and their running game. Today, Nyheim Hines, well, it wasn't today. It was prior to him coming to camp. Nyheim Hines, a running back for the Bills, came over for the Colts. Matter of fact, scored 2 touchdowns last year on special teams in the playoffs. Remember that?
It was the first game. It was the first game back at Buffalo Bills since DeMar Hamlin.
That's right. That's right.
He scored the 2 touchdowns.
It wasn't the playoffs. It was the regular
DeMar
season.
Hamlin last season again.
So here's what happened to Naheem Hines. He was on a jet ski. Now you're going to jump, Terry, and say,
by the way, he was certified. He's been certified for a very long time.
But wait a minute.
Yeah.
Terry's going to say, well, athletes shouldn't be on there playing around. Now wait. Are you ready for this? He was sitting still on the jet ski. Someone else came out of nowhere and slammed into him.
But
flipped him over, and his knee is destroyed. And he is now out for the year.
And now what comes from Terry was, hey, if he wasn't in the water on that jet ski,
I'm not even going to do that.
What do you got?
Hey, fluke accident. Yeah. I'm not going to punish my man. Hey, stuff happens.
What do you got?
That's sort of like swimming in the ocean getting attacked by a shark. You don't expect it, but it happens.
But I know, but the first thing we're going to hear, the first thing we heard for Jordan Addison is, what the hell is this guy doing 140 miles an hour in a 55? First of all, what are you doing 140, period? We don't have the Autobahn here. Then we jump to conclusions, right? We're always jumping to conclusions. And it turns out he had a sick animal. Now we find this guy, Naheem Hines, he was on a ski-doo. Well, he shouldn't be on there. He's got to go to camp.
Do you ski?
And it wasn't even him. Someone slammed into him while he was standing still on it.
Speaking of jumping to conclusions, we do have that video clip of Jordan Addison speeding in the Urus. I do believe so. We'll show that right now. Shoot, there's 2 cars going. Oh, it's nobody out there. He's good. Oh, he's flicked.
He's not good now.
He slowed down. He slowed down quick. He wasn't even bothering endangering anybody. Wow.
You know how long they were following him if he was doing 140? For him to get up to 140 miles an hour.
Mm-hmm. Those cop cars take off quick nowadays, so he's getting out at the same time too. That's dangerous for a black man.
It is.
Maybe he's saying, hey, my dog.
Maz, but see, this is the real world. It doesn't matter what he's saying to his dog. He's a brave soul. My ass wouldn't have got out the car.
Here comes another cop. Now.
They're going to get you either way, so you may as well step out the car.
Step out for what? And get shot? Man,
you get shot in the car.
I'd rather get shot in the car than stepping out. That's guaranteed I'm getting shot.
Well, he was stepping out saying, come on, no.
Maz, we know what he was doing. This is a black thing over here.
I know. I can't help you.
We know. I appreciate you. Because you would if you could.
I'm trying.
Because you would if you could.
Yeah. Because I remember I was speeding on Jefferson Ave in Grosse Pointe, and you can't go over 30 miles an hour there. Those guys will pull you over.
Unless you
if you go 31. But I had my wife, and she had cut her finger. She was chopping onions or whatever. So I was speeding to get her to the hospital. She's in the car bleeding, and the cop pulls me over. I jumped out of the car. He's like, "Get back in your car." I'm like, "My wife is bleeding. We need to get her to the hospital." Oh, he is. So he ran over. He looked. He's like, "Okay, follow me." I was able to follow him to the hospital, but he was ready to kick my ass.
Had that been me, I hope you'd have gave me a nice eulogy. That's all I asked.
That would have been the end of you.
At
At least he just wanted to kick your ass. Brother would have got shot.
100%.
I can't. Again, I'm sorry.
100%.
Hey, keep it with the Viking family here for a minute. Dalvin Cook. You know he's looking for a new team. Do you also know that he offered his ex-girlfriend $1 million to absolve him of assault, allegedly physical assault on his girlfriend? Supposedly he punched her, he kicked her, blah, blah, blah. First he offered her $500,000. She said no. Then he offered $1 million. She said no. So I'm wondering, is that one of the reasons he is not signed yet?
That's the main reason he's not signed yet. And 2 things. One, the first thing that comes to mind, when people start offering settlements, the first thing that comes up is guilty people offer settlements. That's not always true. I've been in the settlement before. Sometimes you try to sell things just to get things over, because the longer things drag out, they paint you in such a negative light that you're like, man, you know what? I might as well have done what they accused me of doing. But in this case, when you go from $500,000, Terry, to $1 million, you're not only trying to get something squashed or something finalized, you also had a role in it, and that's why you feel a little bit great. Am I tripping, or am I on the right track?
No, you're on the right track, but I mean, when the NFL is looking down on these dudes kicking women's ass now, I think when you offer a settlement, you did something wrong.
Yeah.
Something is not right, because you don't just offer settlements for anything. If somebody accuses me of something, I'm like, hey, yo, you ain't gonna do a set because I didn't do anything. But if I had any culpability, I might, okay, let's negotiate.
Yeah, no, it's true. I mean, we've talked.
It's a bad look, no matter what.
It's a horrible look, and we've talked about this before. Like, it's that running back position, and now it comes up the most as it relates to domestic violence. That running back position. I feel like every year there's a running back that is involved in some situation that relates to domestic violence somehow, man. Whether it's Zach Stacy, the running back from the Colts a couple years ago, whether it's Kareem Hunt,
I saw
whether it's the infamous elevator situation where he will not be named, Ray Rice. Like, this situation, the running back situation is an interesting one. Tom Mazawey.
I want to get Braylen upset now.
Oh, Naheem Hines.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just getting back to that. The thing that's not going to be that big for the Buffalo Bills on that one, he didn't do anything when he got him from the Colts as it relates to the running backfield. He actually caught more passes last year than he actually ran the ball.
Good special teams guy, though.
Good special teams guy, but they don't have a lot of kick returns in the NFL these days anyway. Sucks for him. But I'm saying for the Buffalo Bills fans, it wouldn't be an injury that I was like, oh my God, well, it's over. You still have Dalvin Cook's younger brother. You still have McKenzie and a couple. What's going to piss me off, T-Fall?
I like how Braylen wants to avoid my question.
What question?
Why y'all NFL players like to beat the snot out of women?
First of all, who is y'all? I don't hit women. I don't hit women. It's the running. I'm telling you, it's the running back position, man.
Oh, okay.
So with the running back, it's a running back in like the D line.
So if I'm a wide receiver, I don't do that.
Are you in the clear, man? We won't hit women.
Okay.
You just love women.
Just
by
asking the question.
We love you.
By the way, let me update you on the poll. Should Jordan Addison be punished for doing what he did, 140 miles an hour in a 55, pulled over in Minnesota?
I know
but
the answer
obviously
is.
He had his dog, had to get him to the vet. Yes, 67%, and no, 33%. It's still going on. About 150 votes so far and counting. So they're going with Terry. Throw him in the clink.
That's because
one night.
But you know why? That's because the average fan has no respect for the average player. Like, at the end of the day, anything that happens to the player, they want it to happen. It should happen. I don't want
140 miles an hour.
I've gone 140 miles per hour.
He wasn't doing 70.
And it also was nobody out there. It's not like he was doing 140 in the middle of the daytime where it was hella people out there. He was trying to get his dog to the vet. There was no one on the road but him and that cop and one car in the distance. Seemed like they were in an open industrial road.
From at the end of it, we don't know what, when he started.
He had to be close. He was slowing down. I saw him slowing down.
I saw a shot.
At the end of the day, whenever it comes to players, y'all just want the players to get all the hell that comes to them.
Hey,
so I'm always on the players' side.
When we come back from a break, I'm going to hijack this for a minute. When we come back from a break, I'm going to ask you guys, because I got the perfect panel here today.
Okay.
Ryan's not here. I got the perfect panel to ask you. It's a this or that type of question. Okay. Come back.
This
and
or that.
You guys are gonna like this. All right. I'm gonna
put
it
out
out to you.
Since Ryan's not here, how many national championships is Michigan gonna win the next 10 years? 6 or 7?
Ryan's gonna go 8. Ryan's gonna go 8.
I just want one more. Just give me one more since '97.
Okay.
I tell you this: if they don't win it this year, it could be some problems. But first, let's talk a little bit about Dispo. Join us and the family at Dispo live at their Romeo Collection on July 28th for all of our shows. All 3 shows will be at Dispo Romeo this coming Friday. Look, Dispo is the best place in Michigan to go and buy your cannabis products. Over 10 locations in the state. The Romeo one is the one we will be at. They are family.
Hopefully they'll give you some shade.
And give me man, please have some shade ready. Last time we went up there,
shade.
It was hot as the dickens up there, man. But this place is hot as fire. 21 and up, you got to be recreational only, but the best brands they have, Hyman, Runts, and all that good stuff. Come on out to Romeo or Dispo in general.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
At work, and at home. We're there with smarter security solutions, featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Summertime is a great time to join Planet Fitness and beat low E. Planet Fitness is your judgment-free zone where anyone, and I do mean anyone, can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals. At Planet Fitness, you'll experience a squeaky clean gym with tons of equipment, a full body workout in 30 minutes in the 30-minute circuit, and all memberships include fitness training. Your fitness is essential and a key part of your physical and mental well-being, which is why they have invited teens between the ages of 14 and 19 to work out for free all summer long with their high school summer pass program. For more information or to join today, visit your local Planet Fitness, or as always, check them out online at planetfitness.com.
Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. 2 more segments left in the show. T-Foss, thanks for joining us the whole show, man.
I always have a good time when I come in on the final word.
The final word.
The final word.
This invite me anytime.
We will, man. This is the final word, but this isn't the final word. But time Mazawey, you hijacked the show, so hijack away.
Hey, first of all, congrats to the Tigers. 5-1 winners today against San Francisco. So they got themselves 2-2 in their homestand so far. We'll take it.
3-2, isn't it?
Well, no. Friday night they lost. Saturday night they lost. They won yesterday. They won today. So they're 2-2. The 3 more games with the Angels coming up Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Speaking of baseball, is it here? The Angels are here?
Yep. Shohei's coming.
Oh, I'm going to see it.
All right.
When does he pitch?
Tomorrow, first game. I don't know when he's pitching. I got to look it up. I got to look it up. He's due, though. He will be pitching.
They're actually fighting for a playoff spot.
Yeah, they're playing very well right now. They're playing very well.
Yeah. They're doing
all right.
good.
Here's my this or that. I've been having this on the rundown for a long time, and Ryan never goes to it. That's why I hijacked it. Here we go. Would you rather have $54 million and 7 rings, 7 championships, like Robert Horry, or would you rather have $300 million and 0 rings, like James Harden? And they asked Darius Slay this question. Actually, Darius Slay answered this tweet. That's why I put it in here. Darius Slay said, "Show me the money." So you take the $300 million and no rings instead of Robert Horry's $54 million and 7 championships. Who wants to go first between you and Terry?
I go first.
I'll let you go first, Tim.
Being a product of the ghetto of Detroit, and when you start talking about any amount of millions, I'm taking that. So Robert Horry was in a position, he made $54 million.
Which ain't chump change.
Huh?
That's not chump change.
No, it's not. It's not chump change. He didn't have the pressure of having to lead a franchise. Robert Horry is just like, when I get open, give me the ball, I'll hit the shot. James Harden is a guy that's making a lot of money, but he's under a lot of scrutiny. People think he can't play no matter what he does. So he's already in a contract problem with Philly.
Yep.
Some people don't want him there. We don't know where he's going to go. And plus, he's a contrarian. He's always starting crap. And I don't want to be a person known as someone who's always starting stuff and ruining teams. I just take my $54 million and my rings and go chill.
54 mil and 7 rings. Terry's picking that.
I'd be the richest dude in my neighborhood.
That's right. All right, Bray. Darius Sled says, "Show me the money." Terry Foster says, "Give me the titles."
It's a tough one, but you look at Robert Horry. He has $54 million. He has seven championship rings, and he's not in the Hall of Fame. No one considers him one of the greatest players of all time. He's has to go on these podcasts to get his name.
We hate him
there.
in Detroit.
Because of the corner shot and Rasheed Wallace, but we're not the only people that hate him. He had a big shot that sent Phoenix home.
Big shot
in the Western Conference Finals in 1994. He did the same for it. The rest goes on, but He's just small potatoes, man. I want to be a big fish. I want $300 million, like $54 million. I think $300 million changes the lives of your family for years and years to come. Like everything now is generational wealth. That's the new term that you can use in sports. Is generational wealth. That wasn't the term for athletes back in the day. Now generational wealth is garnished through sports. So $300 million. That can help me, my family, my son, my son's sons, my son's son. So I'm going $300 million. You know what? James Harden, yes, he's got a lot of chokes behind his name. People talk about him all the time. Doesn't have any rings, but he got $300 million to change the future for the way he wants it. So
now let me ask you, Terry, because you're more of a money man than me. How much can $54 million turn into?
$54 million.
If you do the right
turn
things.
into $300 million.
You can, right?
Right. Like Magic Johnson wasn't the highest paid player in NBA history, but he is one of the richest NBA players of all time because he invested his money, got the Magic Johnson theaters. He's got three pieces of three different teams. Right, pieces of three. So you can turn it into something else because when you are a professional athlete and you got a little name, you can meet the right people who can help you with that generational wealth that Braylen talked about, and Ndamukong Suh has done that.
But you could turn $300 million into what?
I understand that, but the problem thing. I understand that. He's absolutely right. But part of that for Magic Johnson was the fact that who was the guy that drafted Magic Johnson? It was Dr. Buss. Dr. Buss became who's best friend?
He taught him.
Magic Johnson. He not only taught him, he damn near raised him like his Hollywood son. He was always there. Not everybody's going to get a Dr. Jerry
Winning
Buss.
time, August 6th.
August 6th. I saw that. I was going to tell
HBO.
you. But here's the other thing about it. Everybody looks at this number, and right now you just look at these two big numbers. Yeah. So it's easy to sit up here and say, you know what? I'll take the $54 million. But you didn't get that $54 million all at one time. That $54 million was accrued over his 16-year career. So that's not $54 million. That's actually 27 that he had over there. You break that in half, it's more 50. You still have that type of wealth. I definitely would take the 300 over the 54.
I think as much as I love winning championships, I would take the 300 mil too. How about JB? I'm going to give you an opportunity to chip in here. You get $300 million and sit on your ass, or $54 million and win 7 championships.
I honestly think I might take the money and run. In all honesty, just because the rings are nice to have, and you'll go down in the history books, but still
fun getting them.
Yeah, you have fun getting them, but still, like, what are those rings doing for you right now? They're sitting in your trophy case on a plaque on the mantle somewhere, and then you're just sitting there day to day, paycheck to paycheck. Where the $300 million, as Braylen said, you can help change your whole family's life, your family's family.
Who would you rather be, Charles Haley or Devontae Adams? Charles Haley got 6 NFL rings or 5 Super Bowls. How much money did he make? Devontae Adams, how much money did he make with no? I look at it in terms of the family aspect of it. Like, at the end of the day, as much as people talk about that name that's on the front of that jersey, you're looking at the Spurs right here. You're looking at Philly right there. By the way, Maz, Goliath on Showtime. It's about Will Chamberlain.
Can't wait.
It's already
out now.
It's out.
I'm on it.
Check that out.
I am on it.
You're playing for that. But just as much as you're playing for that, you're playing for the name on the back of that jersey that says Edwards, that says Mazawey, that says Foster, that says Bryant.
I know, but Foster doesn't need. I'm not going to buy a team. All I need is a nice house.
Yeah, you said all you need, but what about your family? Whatever.
Pretty wife, take care of mama and all of them.
You don't care about care about your family in the future, though?
I can take care of them on $54 million / $27 million.
Yeah, because it's 27.
Right.
I'm just saying, like,
give Parker a chance.
He's young. He's gonna say $300 million.
Parker, what are you taking?
I was gonna say $300 million.
All right,
he's
there you
smart.
go.
He's young and smart.
You hit it right.
I mean, I gotta. I mean, I can pay off my student loans.
Like, you gotta at least make it closer. Like, maybe if you said maybe like 100. Maybe $100 million and 7 rings versus $300 million. I take the 100.
All right,
bro. I got news for you. You can pay off your student loans with $27 million.
This is true.
Where did you go to? Stanford?
I mean, I can pay my student loans regardless of either, but I mean, I also can buy like a lot more stuff with that.
Invest in the market.
Dude,
you can
let
that
buy
money
all
work
the
for you.
shoes you want. You can get yourself a nice house, a pretty woman.
I already got a pretty woman.
You get a prettier woman.
I already got a pretty woman.
You get a prettier woman.
Parker's got a pretty woman.
I don't need a prettier woman. I got a great woman.
No, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking
you
about
can upgrade from that.
No, you can always upgrade.
I'll give you that. But you go to prime and proper, and the bill comes. You don't even think about it. Just throw that card.
You go from Outback Steakhouse to prime and proper.
Oh yeah, that's a good jump.
$54 million is not Outback Steakhouse.
27 million.
Or 27 million.
27 million.
Michael Jordan Steakhouse money.
Hey, I went to Michael Jordan Steakhouse for my birthday when I was 12 years old. Walked in there, I was so excited, man. He was actually in there that night too.
Really?
It was a great experience. My dad took me for my birthday when I was turned 12.
That's nice, man.
Yeah, that was pretty dope. Pretty fun.
I got more after our break for you. I got more stuff for you.
All right, last segment of the day. We'll be back to wrap it up. But first, a message from Randy Wise.
All right. How would you like to see famous athletes like Jim Harbaugh, Braylen Edwards, and, of course, Darren McCarty play golf like with you guys? With the average Joes, you can do it. If you go to a Randy Wise Automotive and, of course, listen to Woodward Sports, we're going to help you make that dream come true. It's the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour. Make the wise choice. Get to a Randy Wise dealership today and pay attention to us here at Woodward Sports. More news coming up.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit. The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network. We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports. How would you like to win not one, but two vehicles of your choice? One for you and one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Get to Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut and automatically enter for your chance to win. Courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome. You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media. We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m.
All right, to our YouTube channel, if you can't, just watch live, download our podcast, and leave a 5-star review. Available everywhere you listen to podcasts. Go to woodwardsports.com for all the latest news, articles, updates, show, merchandise, and clips. Back for the last segment.
Hey, we got that new merch out, you know.
We do. Talk about it a little bit.
We got the cap or no cap. Did Terry ever see that?
No, he has not. We got to get...
Terry, we got to show you this new shirt that's out. We play a game called Cap or
Cap
no
or no
cap.
cap.
Braylen,
I played that once.
Braylen made that up.
We had to explain it to him. It took us like 10 minutes to explain it to him.
That's right. He didn't know if it was
We were
cap
trying to
or
figure
no
it
cap.
out.
We got that video still, that piece.
But the shirt, we'll find. We'll go
Yeah,
ahead
what the shirt looks like?
Yeah, I'm pulling it up right now.
Okay, we'll show Terry when it pops up. In the meantime, did you guys see Dan Campbell, of course, start off practice with his up downs?
It is a tradition.
You did these, I know, right?
Yeah, they weren't doing up downs when I was in the NFL. They stopped doing up downs realistically back in like the early 90s. But I have done up downs before. This was a huge staple of the Jerome Bettis / Pepper Johnson / Reggie McKenzie camp back in the day.
Really?
All those days, yeah. I hate up downs.
Hey, there's our shirt, by the way.
Useless.
T-Foss, check that shirt out.
Cap,
you wanna
no
buy,
cap.
You want to buy that shirt?
No.
Cap or no cap?
No.
You know why?
What? You don't want Matt's beautiful mug representing you?
Now look, the front
cap.
side says no cap. No, the front side says cap.
Says no cap.
The back says no cap.
Cap or no?
Come on, T.
Cap. We'll give Tim one.
I like Maz better when he has a little cucumber head.
Oh. Like when you peeling the cucumber?
No, when he did his little marijuana.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly, but you know how you peel them? You take the peeler and then it points it.
But his head looked like a cucumber.
That was someday, man. That was someday. People will never let me live that down for the rest of my life, I don't think.
All right, man, you got 3 minutes. What are we talking about the last 3 minutes of the show?
I wanted to bring up a couple of Lions topics here. Jared Goff got a chance to speak. And we talked about Jahmyr Gibbs earlier.
He got a chance. He's the damn captain.
I know. Well,
he speaks when he wants to.
I'm messing with you.
Anyway,
man.
he talked about Jahmyr Gibbs and what he brings, or what he's going to bring, to the Honolulu Blue, silver, and maybe black.
He's grown a lot even through OTAs, and I thought he had a great day today. He's picking things up quickly. So, yeah, certainly as time goes on, he's only going to get better, and feel like he's going to be ready to go.
Yeah, if I'm Jerry Goff, I'm excited too. You know, last time he saw it back with this kind of explosion and dynamicness, you know, or this dynamic, it was Todd Gurley. And Todd Gurley, we saw the years that he had when he was with the Rams. And
down to the Super Bowl.
72. He had 74 touchdowns, or I think he had 68 touchdowns with the Rams in that 5-year window. He was amazing, got him to the Super Bowl. So, you know, he's licking his chops, thinking about how good they could be with Jahmyr Gibbs.
But he's always going to be separated at birth here with Bijan Robinson. Bijan Robinson, of course, goes to Atlanta because the Lions passed up on him on 6, traded their 6th pick. Atlanta comes in at 8 and gets Bijan Robinson. Lions come in at 12 and get Jahmyr Gibbs, Terry. So it could be. We're going to watch both those guys.
You know what I loved about this whole thing? The teams throw that spin crap out all the time. The Lions said they got Gibbs because he was more versatile.
Right.
Then the Atlanta Falcons were talking about Bijan, and they said, you know, this is the most versatile back that's come out in years. That's why we're glad we have them.
You know why the Lions really got Jahmyr Gibbs is because he was less expensive.
He's going to be cheap in 3-4 years. You won't have the same problem that you have with other players. Like running backs don't get that much money. We've seen them. We'll talk about that more tomorrow. We'll talk about the Zoom meeting that was the running backs this past weekend. But when you look at that, in 4 years, Jahmyr Gibbs is not going to command what Aiden Hutchinson is going to command. He's not going to command what Jameson Williams if he turns out to be what they want him to be. He's not going to command that type of money. So you get a running back, it's cheaper.
No, he's going to command it. He just won't get it.
Well, even in what he's commanding, like his commanding money, like right now, what they're commanding for $22 million a year. I mean, 22 guaranteed, 24 guaranteed. What wide receivers are going for way more than what running backs are.
We got the good news of today at least. We got CJ Gardner-Johnson, who went down today in practice, non-contact injury, grabbed his leg, was pounding the turf, was pounding his knee. They took him out. They had to help him off the field, carted him off. And the good news is the MRI showed no structural damage. So that is phenomenal news today out of Detroit Lions camp.
Phenomenal news, but it begs the question. We brought him here to be a difference in that secondary, and if he's not ready to go by opening night, if he's not ready to be the CJ Gardner-Johnson that he was last year to help that defense get to the Super Bowl, then that secondary is going to be in a bit of a trouble. You know, that's one of the good things we know. We know we had him in the secondary. Him not being out there, Patrick Mahomes could target whoever the hell is going to be out there right now.
Brian Branch, step on up.
It's looking like Brian Branch, step up. T-Falls, you get the final word on the final word.
What happened today proves to me the Lions are blessed. They're going to do what we expect them to do. Maybe not to the extent we think it is, but it's going to be a good season. Today was the Lions are blessed. This was a good day for the Lions, even though it started with tragedy.
I feel that. I feel you're right.
Okay.
This is our year, man.
You heard it from T-Falls.
When's the last time you heard me say that, Maz?
Never.
All right.
Well, you heard it from T-Falls. This is the Lions year. From JB, for Parker, T-Falls, we appreciate you coming down and enjoying the final words. I'm Mazawey, my brother. Always good to be left to you. We are Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for joining us.